lets you zone in on what you love without audio interruptions, whether winding down or turning the volume way up. Take control of your mood with non-stop ad-free music listening to keep the good vibes going. Ready to dive back into premium?
Sherlock Holmes! He is here!
You get out there, keep quiet till he gets in the house, then come round to the front.
I come round to the front after he's in the house. That's plain.
Be ready for him when he comes out. If he's got the things in spite of us, I'll give you 2 sharp whistles. If you don't hear it, let them pass.
But if I do hear 2 sharp whistles,
Then let him have it. Go, answer the bell. Mr. Holmes, I believe.
yes, sir.
Who did you wish to see, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you so much. I sent my card by the butler.
Oh, very well. Miss Faulkner begs Mr. Holmes to excuse her. They are not well enough to see anyone this evening.
I Miss Faulkner this, and say that
I beg your pardon, Mr. Holmes, but it's quite useless, really.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear it.
Yes, Miss Faulkner is, I regret to say, quite an invalid. They aren't able to see anyone. Their health is so poor.
Did it ever occur to you that she might be confined too much to this house?
How does that concern you?
It doesn't. I simply made the suggestion. That's all. Go on, take it up.
That's really good. Why, of course, you can take up your card, or your note, or whatever it is, if you wish it so much. I was only trying to save you the trouble.
Thanks. Hardly any trouble at all to send up a card.
Do you know, Mr. Holmes, you interest me very much.
Ah,
Upon my word, yes. We've all heard of your wonderful methods, your marvelous insight, your ingenuity in picking up and following clues, and the astonishing manner in which you gain information from the most trifling details. Now, I dare say, in this brief moment or two, you've discovered any number of things about me.
nothing of consequence, Mr. Chetwood. I have scarcely more than asked myself why you rushed off and sent that telegram in such a frightened hurry. What possible excuse you could have had for gulping down that tumbler of raw brandy at the Lion's Head on the way back? Why, your friend with the auburn hair left so suddenly by the terrace window. And what there can possibly be about the safe in the lower part of that desk to cause you such painful anxiety?
Very good indeed. If those things were only true now, I'd be wonderfully impressed. I would absolutely. You'll excuse me, I trust. It's from Faulkner. Well, really, she begs too loud to see Mr. Holmes. She absolutely ignores it. Well, I suppose I shall have to give way. Judson? Foreman?
Amazing servants you have.
It's quite hard to find decent people these days.
Very obviously.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Ask Miss Faulkner to come down to the drawing room. Say that Mr. Holmes is waiting to see her. Mr. Holmes?
Yes, sir. It's quite remarkable, upon my soul. May I ask? Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Holmes,
Miss Faulkner?
I'm really most charmed to meet you, although it does seem that you've made me calm down in spite of myself, doesn't it? But it isn't so, Mr. Holmes. I was more than anxious to come, only the doctors forbidden me seeing anyone. But when cousin Freddie said I might come, of course that fixed the responsibility on him, so I have a perfectly clear conscience.
I thank you very much for consenting to see me, Miss Faulkner, but regret that you were put to the trouble of making such a very rapid change of dress.
Yes, I did hurry a trifle, I confess. Mr. Holmes is quite living up to his reputation, isn't he, Freddie?
Yes, but he didn't quite live up to it a moment ago.
Oh, didn't he? I'm so sorry.
No, he's been telling me the most astonishing things.
And they weren't true?
Well, hardly. He wanted to know what there was about the safe in the lower part of that desk that caused me such horrible anxiety.
Oh, why this isn't anything, is there?
That's just it. There's a safe there, but nothing in it.
Really, Mr. Holmes, that's too grotesque.
Perhaps you do better next time.
Yes, next time. You might try on me, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, what do you think of her?
It is very easy to discern one thing about Miss Faulkner, and that is that they are particularly fond of the piano, that their touch is exquisite, their expression wonderful, and their technique extraordinary. While she likes light music very well, they are extremely fond of some of the great masters, among whom are Chopin and Liszt. She plays a great deal indeed. I say it's their chief diversion, which makes it all the more remarkable that she has not touched a piano for 3 days.
Why, that's quite surprising, isn't it?
Certainly better than he did for me.
I'm glad to somewhat repair my shattered reputation. And as a reward, will Miss Faulkner be so good as to play me something of which I am particularly fond?
I shall be delighted, if I can.
If you can, something tells me that Chopin's Prelude number 15 is at your fingertips.
Oh yes, I can give you that.
It will please me so much.
But tell me, Mr. Holmes, how did you know so much about my playing, my expression, technique,
Your hands,
and my preference for the composers you mentioned?
your music rack,
Ah, how simple. But you said I hadn't played for 3 days. How did...
the keys,
The keys?
a light layer of dust.
Dust. Oh dear. I never knew Therese to forget before. You must think us very untidy, I'm sure.
Quite the reverse. I see from many things that you are not untidy in the least, and therefore I'm compelled to conclude that the failure of Therese is due to something else.
What?
To some unusual excitement or disturbance that's taken place in this house.
You're doing very well, Mr. Holmes, and you deserve your Chopin.
Thanks.
not ring.
Your butler is right, Mr. Chetwood. The bell did ring.
How do you know?
I rang it.
What do you want?
I want to send my card to Miss Faulkner.
What right have you to ring for servants and give orders in my house?
What right have you to prevent my cards from reaching their destination? And how does it happen that you and this woman are resorting to trickery and deceit to prevent me from seeing Alice Faulkner? Through some trifling oversight, Judson, neither of the cards I handed you have been delivered. See that this error does not occur again.
My orders.
Ah, you have orders.
I can't say, sir, as I...
You were told not to deliver my card?
What business is this of yours, I'd like to know?
I shall satisfy your curiosity on that point in a very short time.
Yes, and you'll find out in a very short time that it isn't safe to meddle with me. It wouldn't be any trouble at all for me to throw you out into the street.
Possibly not, but trouble would swiftly follow such an experiment on your part.
It's a cursed lucky thing for you that I'm not armed.
Yes, well, when Miss Faulkner comes down, you can go and arm yourself.
Arm myself, I'll call the police. And what's more, I'll do it now.
You will not do it now. You will remain where you are until the lady I came to see has entered the room.
And what makes you so sure of that?
Because you will infinitely prefer to avoid an investigation of your very suspicious conduct, Mr. James Larrabee. An investigation that shall certainly take place if you or your wife presume further to interfere with my business. As for you, my man, it gives me great pleasure to recall the features of an old acquaintance. Your recent connection in the signing of another man's name to a small piece of paper has made your presence at Bow Street much desired. You either deliver the card to Miss Faulkner at once, or you sleep in the police station tonight. It is a matter of small consequence to me which you do.
Shall I go, sir?
Go on, take up the card. It makes no difference to me.
If she comes down, can't you get them away from her?
If he does, the prince is waiting for them outside.
A short time since you displayed an acute anxiety to leave the room. Pray, do not let me detain you or your wife any longer.
This is Mr. Holmes.
Yes?
You wish to see me?
Very much indeed, Miss Faulkner, but I am sorry to see. You are far from well.
No, I don't know.
No? I beg your pardon, but what does this mean?
Nothing.
Nothing? And the mark here on your neck, plainly showing the clutch of a man's fingers, does that mean nothing also? It occurs to me that I would like to have an explanation of this. Possibly you could furnish one, Mr. Larrabee?
How should I know?
It seems to have occurred in your house.
And what if it did? You better understand that it isn't healthy for you or anyone else to interfere with my business.
Ah, then it is your business. We have that much at least. Pray, be seated, Miss Faulkner.
I don't know who you are, Mr. Holmes, or why you're here.
I shall be very glad to explain. So far as the question of my identity is concerned, you have my name and address as well as the announcement of my profession upon the card, which I observe you still hold clasped tightly in the fingers of your left hand.
Detective?
Quite so, and my business is this. I've been consulted as to the possibility of obtaining from you certain letters and other things which are supposed to be in your possession, and which, I need not tell you, are the source of the greatest anxiety.
It is quite true I have such letters, Mr. Holmes, but it will be impossible to get them from me. Others have tried and failed.
What others have or have not done, while possibly instructive in certain directions, can in no way affect my conduct, Miss Faulkner. I have come to you frankly and directly, to beg you to pity and forgive.
There are some things, Mr. Holmes, beyond pity, beyond forgiveness.
But there are other things that are not. I am able to assure you of the sincere penitence, the deep regret of the one who inflicted the injury, and of the earnest desire to make any reparation in their power.
How can reparation be made for the dead?
How indeed? And for that very reason, whatever injury you yourself may be able to inflict by means of these things can be no reparation, no satisfaction, no indemnity to the one no longer here. You will be acting for the living, not the dead. For your own satisfaction, Miss Faulkner, your own gratification, your own revenge.
I know from this and from other things that have happened that a marriage is contemplated.
It is quite true.
I cannot give up what I intend to do, Mr. Holmes. There are other things beside revenge. There is punishment. If I am not able to communicate with the family to which this man proposes to ally himself in time to prevent such a thing, the punishment will come later, but you may be perfectly sure it will come. There is nothing more to say. Good night, Mr. Holmes.
But my dear Miss Faulkner, before you... What's that?
Mr. Chatwood, what is it? The lamp in the kitchen. It fell off the table and everything's under its blazing, sir.
Oh my God!
It's on fire!
Don't alarm yourself, Miss Faulkner. There is no fire.
No fire.
The smoke was all arranged for by me.
Arranged for. No.
That I wanted this package of letters, Miss Faulkner.
What does it mean, Mr. Holmes?
I won't take them, Miss Faulkner. As you very likely conjecture, the alarm of the fire was only to make you betray their hiding place, which you did, and I availed myself of that betrayal, as you see. But now that I witness your great distress, I find that I cannot keep them, unless you can possibly change your mind and let me have them of your own free will. I hardly suppose you could. I will therefore return it to you.
So you've got them, haven't you? And now I suppose we're going to see you walk out of the house with them.
On the contrary, you're going to see me return them to their rightful owner.
Yes, I think that'll be the safest thing for Mr. Sherlock Holmes to do.
You flatter yourself, Mr. Larrabee. The reason I did not leave the house with this package of papers is not because of you, or what you may do, or say, or think, or feel. It is on account of this young lady. I care for that for your cheap bravado. Really? Miss Faulkner, permit me to place this in your hands. Should you ever change your mind and be so generous, forgiving as to wish to return these letters to the one who wrote them, you have my address. In any event, rest assured, there will be no more cruelty, no more persecution in this house. You are perfectly safe with your property now, for I shall arrange that your faintest cry of distress will be heard, and if that cry is heard, it will be a very unfortunate thing for those who are responsible. Good night, Miss Faulkner. As for you, sir, and you, madam, I beg you to understand that you continue your persecution of that young lady at your peril. Good evening. Well, you didn't get it, did he? Well, what is it? What's the pain he did?
He gave it to her.
What? He found it? And gave it to the girl? Well, here I say, What are you waiting for? Now is the chance, before she hides it again.
No, wait.
What's the matter? Do you want to lose it?
No, you're right. It's all a cursed bluff.
No, Jem.
I tell you, we will. Now's our chance to get hold of it.
Well, I should say so.
What's that?
Someone at the door?
No, it wasn't that side.
It's the foreman.
I think it's the foreman. Beg pardon, ma'am.
I think someone knocked, Judson.
There's
You go
no
check.
one at the door.
That's all.
He's got us watched, you know. What we want to do is to leave it alone and let the Emperor have it.
Do you mean Professor Moriarty?
That's right. Once we let him have it, he'll settle it with Holmes pretty quick. Meet me at Armitage's, 9 sharp in the morning. Don't you worry a minute. I tell you the Professor will get him before tomorrow night. And he don't wait long either. And when he strikes, it means death.
Correct. Has any report come in from Chipley?
Nothing yet, sir.
All the others I heard from?
Yes, sir.
I was afraid we'd have trouble there. If anything happened, we would lose Hickson, one of our best men. Send Bassett over. Bassett. Number. Correct.
So you sent me.
I want to, before we go into anything else, I want to refer to Davidson.
I've made a note of them myself, sir. He's holding that money.
Something like 600 short for that last haul, isn't it?
So there's not much of it.
Have them attended to. Twiggan is the one to do it. And see that their disappearance is noticed, have it spoken of. That finishes Davidson. Now as to this Blaisdell matter, did you learn anything more?
The whole thing was a trap.
What do you mean?
Said I'm better by an expert.
But those letters and papers of instruction, you brought them back or destroyed them, I trust.
I could not do it, sir. Manning has disappeared and the papers are gone.
Gone. Sherlock Holmes again. That's bad for the Underwood trial.
I thought Shackleford was going to get positive.
He tried to. Found it was blocked.
Who could have done it?
Sherlock Holmes. Again. He's got hold of between 20 and 30 and instructions in as many different jobs, and some to putting on man or two out of the way, and he's gradually completing chains of evidence which, if we let them go on, we will reach to me as sure as the sun will rise. Reach to me.
dangerous game. Inspector Wilson tried it 7 years ago. Wilson is dead. 2 years later, Henderson took it up. We haven't heard anything of Henderson lately, eh?
Another thing, sir.
Ha! This Holmes is rather a talented man. He hopes to drag me into the Underwood trial, but he doesn't realise what can happen between now and Monday. He doesn't know that there isn't a street in London to be safe from if I whisper the names of Cragen. I might even think them a little call myself, just for the satisfaction of it. Just for the satisfaction of it. Baker Street, isn't it? Their place. Baker Street, eh?
Baker Street, sir.
We could make it safe. We could make it absolutely secure for 3 streets away.
Yes, sir, but
We're good. We've done it over and over again elsewhere. Police deployed, men in every doorway. Do this tonight, in Baker Street. At 9 o'clock, call their attendants out of one pretext and another, and keep them out. You'll understand. I'll see the Sherlock Holmes myself. I'll give them a chance for their life, if he declines to treat with me.
yes, Patrick. What name did you say? Oh, Prince. Yes, he'll have to wait. Yes, I got their telegram last night. But tell them to come and speak to me at the phone. Yes, I got your telegram, Prince, but I have an important matter on at the moment. You'll have to wait. Who? What sort of a game is it? Where is he now? Just wait a moment. Here's something, sir. Sid Prince has come here over some job, and he says he's got Holmes if I can get him.
Eh? Ask them what it is. Ask them what it is. Wait! Let them come here.
Yeah, but no one sees you, no one knows you. That means 6 good years.
No one sees me now. You will talk with him. I'll listen from the next room. This is your office. Your office.
Is that you, Prince? Yes, I find I can't come out, but I'll see you here. What's her name? Sir, he says there's 2 with them. A man and a woman named Laramie. They won't consent to any interview unless they're present.
Send them in.
Ask please come to the telephone. Please, Ed? Those people with Prince, do they seem to be alright? Look close. Yes? Well, take them out through the warehouse and down by the circular stairway, and then bring them up here by the long tunnel. Yes, here. Look them over as you go along to see they are not carrying anything, and watch that no one sees you come down. Yes. I don't like this, sir.
You don't like this. You don't like this. I tell you it's certain death unless we can settle with this man. Your office. You understand? Your office.
Then join John. There are some people coming here. You stand over there, and keep your eye on them from behind. If you see anything suspicious, drop your handkerchief. If it's a woman, pick it up. If it's a man, they'll be on the floor. Got it? Number? Correct. Are the three waiting with you? I understand you to say, through our private telephone, that you've got something with Sherlock Holmes exchange?
Yes, we have, sir.
And kindly let me have the particulars.
Jim and Madge Larrabee here, which you used to know in early days. They have picked up a girl at Hamburg with their sister that's been having a strong affair at the art with a very high young foreign nob who promised to marry her. But the family stepped in and threw the whole thing down. He behaved very bad to her, and had let himself on and written letters and given their things and tokens, you see. And there was photographs too. Now, as these various things show that he deceived and betrayed her, they wouldn't look nice if they were seen out in the public, considering what high titles he's coming into. So when the girl up and dies on the all these letters and things, they fall to her sister's hands, which is the one my friends here have been nursing all along, together with their mother.
And where have you had it before? We took a house up the Norrington Road. How long have you been there? 2 years, the 14th of next month. And those letters and other evidences of the young man's misconduct will well be reached at your wedding?
It's now. Don't you see? It's now. The marriage is coming on, and there's been offers. And the problem is to get the papers in our hands.
Where are they?
Why, the girl's got them.
We had a safe for her to keep them in, supposing that when the time came, we could open it. But the lock was out of order. So we got Princeton to help us. He opened it last night, and the package containing the things was gone. She had taken it out herself. What did you do when you discovered them?
Do? I hadn't any more than I got the box open, sir, and had one look inside to see there was nothing there. When Sherlock Holmes rings the doorbell.
There, at your house, at my house. He didn't get those letters. Well, he did get them when he passed them back to the talking girl. Pass them back. What did that mean? There's another thing that puzzles me. There was an accident below in the kitchen. A lamp follows the table and scattered burning oil about. The butler came running up yelling fire. We ran down there and a few buckets of water put it out.
I have a suggestion to make. We must get rid of your butler. Not discharge them, get rid of them. Train him for that. As soon as it's dark, give them 2 others to help. Mr. Larrabee will send the man into the cellar for something. They'll be ready for them there. Dalton's van will get the body to the river. It need not inconvenience you at all, madame. We do these things quietly. What's the sheriff doing?
He's on the raiding job tomorrow night.
Put them with Craven today. Help them with that butler. But there's something else we want. Have those letters. Have you seen those letters? The photographs and whatever else they give you. Have you seen them? Do you know what they're like?
I have, sir. I've looked them through carefully several times.
Could you make me a counterfeit set of these things and tie them up so they would look exactly like the package? Sherlock Holmes held them in their hand last night.
I can manage the letters, but
If you manage the letters, I'll send someone who can manage the rest. From your description, Thalassic, that old German artist,
Look now.
precisely. Larrabee to 11. 10:15. That gives you 3/4 of an hour to reach home. I shall want that counterfeit packet. 11 tonight. 12 hours to make it.
It will be ready, sir.
Good. Basic. Notify that last car that I may require the Thalassic room tonight.
The Thalassic room.
Yes. The one backing over the river. Then have Craig there at 12:15 with others. Mr. Larrabee, I shall want you to write a letter to Mr. Sherlock Holmes, which I shall dictate, and tonight I may require a little assistance from you. Meet me here at 11.
This is all very well, sir, but you have said nothing about
You have no
business
choice.
arrangements.
You
No
know
choice. No choice.
No choice. I do what I please. It pleases me to take hold of this case.
What about pleasing me?
I'm not so sure, but I shall be able to do that as well. I will obtain the original letters from Miss Folder and negotiate that for what you could possibly do. In addition, you will have an opportunity to sell the counterfeit package to Holmes tonight for a good round sum. And the money obtained for these sources shall be divided as follows. You will take 100%, and I nothing.
Nothing. But we have to negotiate these letters until we know who they incriminate. Mr. Larrabee has not yet informed us.
Mr. Larrabee is wise and exercising caution. He values the keystone in their arch, but he will consent to let me know.
Professor Moriarty, that information we would like to give you, but only to you.
This is an absolute certainty.
Absolute.
It means that you have a fortune. Had I known this, you should hardly have such terms.
Oh well, we don't object to
The arrangement is made, Mr. Larrabee. I bid you good morning. Basic, place your men at night for Sherlock Holmes' house in Baker Street.
You will go there yourself?
I will go there myself. Myself. I am the one to attend to this.
But this meeting at 12 tonight to trap Holmes in the Thalassic chamber in Swindon Lane.
If I fail to kill them in Baker Street, you'll trap them tonight in Swindon Lake. Either way, I have him, Basic. I have him. I have him.
see you.
Where is Mrs. Hudson?
Downstairs in the back kitchen, sir.
My compliments. And I don't think she can, from where she is.
She'll be very sorry, sir.
Our regret will be mutual.
She says it was terribly important, sir, as she wants to know what you'll have for your breakfast in the morning.
Same
Same as when, sir?
this morning.
You didn't have nothing, sir. You wasn't there.
Quite so. I won't be here tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Was that all, sir?
Quite so.
Thank you, sir. It's Dr. Watson, sir. You told me as I could always show him up.
Well, I should think so.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Watson, sir.
Ah, Watson, dear fellow.
Oh, how are you, Holmes?
I'm delighted to see you, my dear fellow. Perfectly delighted. Upon my word, but I'm so sorry to observe that your wife has left you in this way.
She's gone on a little visit. How did you know?
How do I know? Now, Watson, how absurd of you to ask me a question such as that. How do I know anything? How do I know that you've opened a consulting room and resumed the practice of medicine without letting me hear a word about it? How do I know that you've been getting yourself very wet lately? That you have an extremely careless servant girl, and that you move your dressing room table to the other side of the room.
Holmes, if you'd lived a few centuries ago, they would have burned you alive.
Such a conflagration would have saved no considerable trouble and expense.
Tell me, how did you know all that?
Too simple to talk about. Scratches and clumsy cuts on the side of your shoe, there, just where the fire strikes it. Somebody scraped away crusted mud and did it badly. Badly. There's your wet feet and careless servant, all on one foot. Face badly shaved on one side, used to be on the left. Light must have come from the other side. Couldn't bother move your window. Must have moved your dressing table.
Yes, by Jove! But my medical practice, I don't see how you...
Now, Watson, how perfectly absurd of you to come marching in here, fairly reeking with the odor of iodoform, and with a black mark of nitrate silver on the inner side of your right forefinger.
That's my nephew.
Your right forefinger. And ask me how I know.
Of course, but how the deuce did you know my wife was away?
Where the deuce is your second waistcoat button? And what the deuce is yesterday's boutonniere doing in today's lapel? And why the deuce do you wear an expression of a... Elementary. The child's play of deduction.
Which is it today? Cocaine or heroin? I seem to have misplaced my dial, Watson.
But... Cocaine, my dear fellow. I'm back to my old love. A 7% solution. Would you like to try some?
Certainly not!
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have no wish to bring my system down before time.
Quite right, my dear Watson. Quite right. But see, my time has come. Now, watch me balance this pencil on my nose.
It can't be done!
Holmes, for months I have seen you use these deadly drugs in ever-increasing dosages. When they lay hold of you, there's no end. It must go on and on and on and on until finish.
So must you go on and on and on and on, eating your breakfast until the finish.
Breakfast is food. These are poisons. Slow but certain. They involve tissue changes of a most serious nature.
Just what I want. I'm bored to death of my present tissue, and I'm trying to get a brand new lot.
Holmes, I'm trying to save you!
You can't do it, old fellow, so don't waste your time. in the enthusiasm which has prompted you to chronicle, and if you will excuse my saying so, to somewhat embellish a few of my little adventures, you have occasionally committed the error of, or indiscretion, of giving them a certain tinge of romance. Or which struck me as a trifle out of place. Something like working an elopement into the fifth proposition of Euclid. I merely refer to this in case you should see it fit at some future time to chronicle the most important and far-reaching case in my career. One upon which I have laboured for nearly 14 months, and which is now rapidly approaching a singularly diverting climax. The case of Professor Robert Moriarty.
Robert Moriarty! I don't remember ever having heard of this fellow.
The Napoleon of crime. The Napoleon! Bob. Sitting motionless like an ugly, venomous spider in the centre of their web, but that web having a thousand radiations and the spider knowing every quiver of each one.
Really? This is interesting.
But the real interest will come when the professor begins to realise their position, which he cannot fail to do so shortly. By 10 o'clock tomorrow night, the time will be right for the arrest. Then, the greatest criminal trial of the century. The clearing up of over 40 mysteries, and the rope for everyone.
Good! What will he do when he sees that you have him?
Do? He will do me the honour, my dear Watson, of turning every resource of their wonderful organisation of criminals to the one purpose of my destruction.
Why, Holmes, this is a dangerous thing.
Dear Watson, it's perfectly delightful! It saves me any number of doses of those deadly drugs upon which you occasionally favour me with your medical views. My whole life is spent in a series of frantic endeavours to escape from the dreary commonplaces of existence. For a brief period I escape. You should congratulate me!
But you could escape them without such serious risks. Your other cases have not been so dangerous, and they were even more interesting. Now, the one you spoke of the last time I saw you, the recovery of those damaging letters and the gifts from a young girl who, most particular affair as I remember it, you were going to try an experiment in making them betray their hiding place by the alarm of the fire in her own house, and after that...
Precisely, after that.
Did the plan succeed?
Yes, as far as I've gone.
You got the foreman into the house as a butler?
Foreman was in as a butler.
And upon your signal, he overturned the lamp in the kitchen, scattered the smoke balls, and gave an alarm of fire.
Yes.
And the young lady, did she...
Yes, she did, Watson. The young lady did. It all transpired precisely as planned. I took the packet of papers from its hiding place, and as I told you, I would hand it back to Miss Faulkner.
But you never told me why you proposed to hand it back.
For a very simple reason, my dear Watson. That would have been theft for me to have taken it. The contents of the packets were the absolute property of the young lady.
What did you gain from this?
Their confidence, and so far as I was able to secure it, their regard. As it was impossible for me to take the possession of the letters, photographs, and jewellery in that packet without their consent. My only alternative is to obtain that consent to induce them to give it to me of their own free will. Its return to them after I laid hands on it was the first move in this direction. The second will depend entirely upon what transpires here today. I expect Foreman here to report in half an hour.
I beg your pardon, Mr. The boy said to come right as soon as I came.
Quite right, quite right.
I fear that some may trouble, messieurs. C'est peut-être your assistant. The one who sent me to you,
Foreman?
he was poor man. There's something done to him. I fear to go down to see.
Down where?
The fellas at house. It is a dreadful place. He did not come back. He went down. He did not return.
Who sent them down?
Monsieur of the house, Mr. Sherwood.
Larrabee?
Yes.
Has he been down there long?
No, for I soon suspect the dreadful noise was heard. Oh, the noise, the noise,
What noise?
the noise!
Try to be calm and answer me. What did it sound like? I see the excellent cry of a man who is struck down by a deadly steed. Billy! Coat, boots, and order a cab. Quick!
Yes, sir.
Did anyone follow them down? I did not see it. Don't wait, the cab. Take this revolver, Watson, and come with me. I had better not go on, sir. No, wait here. Ah, I hear Foreman coming now.
Nothing more last night, sir. After you left, Prince came in. They made us stop for their room to get the packed away. But I have the 3 knocks with an axe on the floor. Beams, as you directed. And they didn't go any further. This morning, a little after 9.
One moment.
Yes, sir.
Mademoiselle, step into that room and rest yourself. I am tired, monsieur. Step in and walk about then. I'll let you know when you are required. Oui, monsieur. Take a look at their head, Watson.
Heard no complaints.
Forward, Watson. Forward is the injured one.
Sorry. It's nothing. That's all.
Take a look at their head, Watson.
An ugly bruise, but not dangerous.
Very well. A little after 9, you say?
Yes, sir. This morning, a little after 9, Larry and his wife drove away, and she returned about 11 without him. A little later, old Lefner came, and then the two went to work in the library. I got to look at them from the outside and found they were making up a counterfeit of the package we were working for. You'll have to watch for some short tricks, sir.
They'll have to watch for the trick, my dear Foreman. And Larrabee, what of him?
He came back a little after 3.
How did he seem?
Under great excitement, sir.
Any marked resentment towards you?
I think there was, sir, though he tried not to show it.
He has consulted someone outside. Was the Larrabee woman's behaviour different also?
Now I come to think of it, she gave me an ugly look as she came in.
Ah, an ugly look. She was present at the consultation. They were advised to get you out the way. He sent you into the cellar on some pretext. You were attacked in the dark by 2 men, possibly 3, and received a bad blow from a sand club. You managed to strike down one of your assailants with a stone or a piece of timber, and escaped from the others in the dark crawling out through a coal grating.
That's what took place, sir.
They've taken in a partner, and a dangerous one at that. He not only directed this conspiracy against you, but he advised the making of a counterfeit package as well. Within a very short time, I shall receive an offer from Larrabee to sell the package of letters. He will indicate that Miss Faulkner changed her mind and has concluded to get what she can for them. He will desire to meet me on the subject and will endeavour to sell me their bogus package for a large sum of money. After that,
Letter, sir. Most important letter.
unless I'm greatly mistaken, the said communication is at hand. It is. Read it, Watson. There's a good fellow. My eyes, you know, cocaine, and all those things you like so much.
Dear sir,
Who thus addresses me?
James Larrabee.
What a surprise. And what does James say this evening?
Dear sir,
I hope he won't say that again.
I have the honour to inform you that Mrs. Faulkner has changed their mind regarding the letters, etc., which you wish to obtain, and has decided to dispose of them for monetary compensation. She has placed them in my hands for this purpose, and if you are in a position to offer a good sum and pay it down at once in cash, the entire lot is yours. If you wish to negotiate, however, it must be tonight at the place of my friend in the city. At 11 o'clock, you will be at the Guards' Monument at the foot of Waterloo Palace. If you will see a cab with wooden shutters to the windows. Enter it, and the driver will bring you to my friend's house. If you have the cab followed or try any other underhand trick, you won't get what you want. Let me know your decision. Yours truly, James Larrabee.
Now see, if I had the points, tonight, 11 o'clock, God's Monument, cab with wooden shutters, no one to come with me, no one to follow a cab, or I don't get what I want.
Quite right. But this cab with wooden shutters.
A little device to keep me from seeing where I am driven. Billy,
Yes, sir.
who brought it?
It was a woman, sir.
Old, young,
Very old, sir.
in a cab?
Yes, sir.
Seen the driver before?
Yes, sir, but I can't think where.
Hand this over to the old lady, and apologise for the delay. And look at the driver again.
Yes, sir.
Dear Holmes, you did not say you would go.
Certainly I did.
But it is a counterfeit.
The counterfeit is what I want.
Why so?
Because with it I shall attain the original. Mademoiselle,
But this fellow means mischief.
this fellow means the same.
Facing Watson and touching himself like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Be so good, Mademoiselle, as to listen to every word. Tonight, at 12 o'clock, I meet Mr. Larrabee, and purchase from them the false bundle of letters which you just now heard us refer as you were listening at the keyhole of the door.
Oui, monsieur.
I wish Miss Faulkner to know at once I propose to buy this package tonight.
I will tell her, monsieur.
That is my wish, but do not tell her that I know of this packet and its contents to be counterfeit. They ought to suppose that I think I am buying the genuine.
Oui, monsieur, je comprends. When you purchase, you think you have the real.
Precisely. One more thing. Tomorrow evening I shall want you to accompany them to this place here. Sir Edward Layton and Count von Stolberg will be here to receive the packet from me. However, you will receive further instructions as to this in the morning.
Oui, monsieur.
Foreman,
Yes, sir.
change to your beggar disguise number 14 and go through every place in the Riverside district. Don't stop till you get a clue to this new partners of Larrabee's. I must have that. I must have that.
Very well, sir.
If you please, there's a man waiting at... Oh, wait.
If you please, sir. There's a man waiting at the street door and he says he must speak to Mr. Foreman, sir, as quick as he can.
We'd better have a look at that man, Billy. Show them up.
He can't come up, sir. He's watching a man in the street. He said he's from Scotland Yard. I'd rather see what it is, sir.
No! Well, take a look at first. Be ready for anything.
Yes, sir.
Billy, see what he does.
Yes, sir.
This is becoming interesting. Look, Edmund, you've been so kind as to give me half a look into the case. This strange case of Miss...
Quite so. One moment, my dear fellow. Mr. Foreman, is he there still?
No, sir, he's gone.
That's all.
Yes, sir, thank you, sir.
As you were saying, Watson, strange case of...
Of Miss Faulkner.
Precisely, this strange case of Miss Faulkner.
You've given me some idea of it. Now, don't you think it would be only fair to let me have the rest?
What shall I tell you?
Tell me what your purpose is to do with the counterfeit package. Were you going to risk your life to obtain?
I intend, with the aid of the counterfeit, to make them willingly hand me the genuine. I shall accomplish this by a piece of trickery and deceit which I am heartily ashamed, and which I would never have undertaken if I had known them as I do now. It's too bad. She's a rather nice girl, Watson.
Nice girl, is she?
Yes.
Then you think that possibly...
I beg your pardon, sir. Mr. Foreman's just sent over from the chemist on the corner to say, is that there's a pain in them a bit. And what Dr. Watson? Can you step over and get you something to put on it?
Yes, certainly. I'll go at once. That's singular. It didn't look like anything serious. I'll be back in a minute, Holmes.
Billy,
Yes, sir.
who brought that message from Foreman?
Boy from the chemist, sir.
Yes, of course. But which boy?
new one, sir. I never seen him before.
Quick, Billy. Run down and look after the doctor. If the boy's gone and there's a man with them, it means mischief. Let them know quick. Don't stop to come up. Ring the doorbell. I'll hear it. Ring it loud. Quick now.
Yes, sir.
It's a dangerous habit to finger-loaded firearms in the pocket of one's dressing gown.
You'll be taken from here to the hospital if you keep that hand behind you. In that case, the table will do quite well.
You evidently don't know me.
I think it quite evident that I do. Please, take a chair, Professor. I can spare 5 minutes if you have anything to say. What were you about to do?
Look at my watch.
I'll tell you when the 5 minutes is up.
All that I have to say has already crossed your mind.
And my answer there too has already crossed yours.
It is your intention to pursue this case against me?
That is my intention, to the very end.
I regret this. Not so much on my own account, but on yours.
I share your regrets, Professor, but solely because of the rather uncomfortable position it will cause you to occupy.
May I inquire to what position you are pleased to allude, Mr. Holmes? And have you the faintest idea that you would be permitted to live to see the day?
As to that, I do not particularly care, so that I might bring you to see it.
You will never bring me to see it. You will find you are a bold man, Mr. Holmes, to insinuate such a thing to my face. But it is the boldness of ignorance. You'll never bring me to see it. You'll never bring me to see it. I tell you, it's the boldness born of ignorance. Do you think that I would if I had not made the streets quite safe in every respect?
Oh no, I could never so grossly overestimate your courage as that.
Do you imagine that your friend the doctor and your man the foreman soon return?
Possibly not.
So it leaves us quite alone, doesn't it, Mr. Holmes? Quite alone. So that we can talk the matter over quietly, not be disturbed. In the first place, I wish to call your attention to a few memoranda which I have jotted down. which you will find.
Look out. Take your hands away. Get your hands down. A little further from that memorandum book you were talking about.
Why, I was merely about to.
Well, merely don't do it.
But I would like to show you.
I don't want to see it.
But if you will allow me.
I don't care for it at all. I don't require any notebooks. If you want it so badly, we'll have someone get it for you. I always like to save my guests unnecessary trouble.
I observe that your boy does not answer the bell.
No, but I have an idea that he will before long.
Maybe possibly be longer than you think, Mr. Holmes.
What? That boy?
Yes, your boy.
At least we will try to battle once more, Professor. Bob?
Doesn't it occur to you that he may possibly have been detained, Mr. Holmes?
It does, but I also observe that you are in very much the same predicament.
I beg pardon, sir. Do you want someone try to hold me, sir?
It is quite evident, however, that he failed to do so.
Yes, sir. You got my head, sir, but you ain't got me.
Billy,
Yes, sir.
the gentleman I am pointing out to you with this six-shooter desires to get something out of their left-hand coat pocket.
Yes, sir.
Ah, I thought so. Left-hand coat pocket. As they are not feeling quite himself today, and the exertion might prove injurious, suppose you attend to it?
Is this it, sir?
It has the general outline of being it. Quite so. Put it on the table. Put it on the sofa.
Yes, sir.
Not there, Billy. Look out. Farther this way. That's more like it.
Shall I see if he's got another, sir?
Why, Billy, you surprise me. After the gentleman has taken the trouble to inform you that he hasn't,
When, sir?
when he made a snatch for this one. Now that we have your little memorandum book, Bob, do you think of anything else you'd like before Billy goes? Any little thing that you've got that you want? No? Ah, I'm sorry, that's all, Billy.
Thank you, sir.
Rather a rash project of yours, Moriarty. Even though you have made the street quite safe in every respect to make use of that thing, so early in the evening, and in this part of town.
Listen to me. On the 4th of January, you crossed my path. On the 23rd, you incommoded me, and now, at the close of April, I find myself placed in such a position through your continual interference. I am in positive danger of losing my liberty.
Have you any suggestion to make?
No. I have no suggestion to make. I have a fact to state. If you do not fit at once, your life is not worth that.
I shall be pleased to drop it at 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
Why?
Because at that hour, Moriarty, your life will not be worth that. You will be under arrest.
At came here this evening to see if peace could not be arranged between us.
Ah, yes. I saw that. That's rather good.
You have seen fit not only to reject my proposals, but to make insulting references coupled with threats of arrest.
Quite so. Quite so.
Well, nothing more. You do not heed that warning. Perhaps you will heed this.
Oh, here. I don't suppose you want to use that thing again. So I took all your cartridges out and put them in my pocket. You'll find them all there, Professor. Billy,
Yes, sir.
show this gentleman nicely to the door.
Yes, sir. This way, sir.
Go on, Bob. Billy, come here.
Yes, sir.
Billy, you're a good boy.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, what's Charles doing?
I was done here.
I saw this slippery was with you in the end.
You ain't.
Who was the master you opened the door for?
I didn't hear his name. He'd be holding back money on an out some railway place.
What's this here job and you want done?
I've been told.
As long as we know what it's like to do.
Do any of you blokes know if this is the place where I meet Thalassic? From what you say, I think you do.
We ain't knowing no such man. He may be here and he may not.
Oh, Chris, you're here. I was looking for you outside.
You told me to be here, sir. That's how the arrangement stood.
Very well. You've got the rope. David,
Yep, it's here.
that you, Francis?
Yes, sir.
And John? Okay, so you want to be very careful with it tonight. You've got a tough one.
You ain't said who, as I've heard.
Sherlock Holmes.
You mean that, sir?
Yeah, indeed. I do.
We're gonna count him out.
Well, if you don't and he gets away, I'm sorry for you. That's all.
I'll be cursed glad to pull a trap on him, I tell you that.
I see the sin myself.
Shh. Professor Moriarty's coming.
Professor Moriarty?
Professor
Moriarty?
Where's Regan? Have you got your men?
All here, sir.
No mistakes tonight.
I'll be careful of that.
That door. Thalassic.
small cupboard stuff.
No outlet.
Not whatever, sir.
That window.
No done, sir.
A man might break the glass.
If it did, that he'd come against heavy iron bars outside.
We'll have him tied down before it can break any glass, sir.
And that door.
The opening's blank out, solid, sir. As you can see, and double thickness.
Ah. When the men turn, trip the trap. Then they leave by the door. That door.
Yes, sir.
Let me see how quick you can operate them.
I'll touch.
Yes, sir.
Calm now, my Vlad. Calm now, my Vlad. Your time will come. That's all. Craven, you'll take your men outside the door and wait till Mr. Larrabee has had a little business interview with that gentleman. Take them off the passage to the left, so that Mr. Smart see them as he comes along.
Wooden shutters, sir. Bolted and secure. There is an effect you can see through the sides of a pane.
Ah, that is it.
You mustn't stay longer, sir. Sherlock may be a little early.
Mr. Larrabee, you understand. They wait for you.
I understand, sir.
I give you this opportunity to get what you can for your trouble, but anything is done. But then after you have finished this subject, the usual division.
That's all I want.
When you have quite finished and got your money, suppose you blow that little whistle, which I suppose is hanging from your watch chain. And these gentlemen will take their turn.
put that boat out of sight.
Look here, Jim. This sort of thing, it ain't so much in my line.
I suppose not.
When it comes to shy safe or a lock or running around vaults, I feel perfectly at home, but this... I don't care so much to see a man. Well, it ain't my line.
Here, all I want of you is to go down on the corner below and let me know when he comes.
How will I let you know?
Have you got a whistle?
Certainly somewhere in here.
Well, when you see O'Hagan driving with him, come down the alley there and blow it twice.
Yes, but ain't it quite likely that I will call a cab at the same time?
What more do you want? Take the cab and go home.
Oh, then you will meet me here. Again?
No.
Alright, very well. Then I'll tear myself away.
What do you want? It's true then. How did you get to this place? I followed you in a cab. And what have you been doing since I came up here? Informing the police, perhaps?
No, I was afraid he'd come, so I waited.
Oh, to warn them, very likely.
Yes, to warn him.
Then it's just as well you came up.
I came to make sure
Of what?
I came to make sure that something else is not going to be done besides what they told me.
Ah, somebody told you that something else was going to be done.
Yes,
So we've got another spy in the house.
you're going to swindle and deceive them. I know that. Is there anything more?
What could you do if there was?
I can buy you off. Such men as you are always open on sale.
How much would you give?
The genuine package, the real ones, all the proofs, everything.
Have you got it with you?
No, but I can go get it.
Oh. So you do all that for this man? You think he's your friend, I suppose?
Haven't thought of it.
Look what he's doing now, coming here to buy those things off me.
They're false. They're counterfeit.
Well, he thinks they're genuine, doesn't he? He'd hardly come here to buy them if he didn't.
Where are those men?
Stay where you are and you'll see them very soon.
I don't see them.
Well, blowing my whistle while I'm out, I'm quite sure. Oh!
I knew it! You're going to do them some harm.
Oh no! It's only a little joke at their expense.
You wanted the letters, the package I had in the safe. I'll get it for you. Let me go and I'll bring it here, or whatever you tell me. I give you my word not to say anything to anyone. Not to them, not to the policeman, not to anyone.
You needn't take the trouble to get it, but you can tell me where it is. And you have to be quick about it too.
Yes, if you promise not to go on with this.
Of course.
You
That's
promise?
understood. Certainly I promise. Now where is it?
It's just outside my bedroom window. Just outside on the left, fastened between the shutter and the wall. You can easily find it.
Yes, I can easily find it.
Now tell them to go.
Tie them up so she can't make a noise. Keep her out there until we have Holmes in here.
Go and get a hold. Mom, hand me a piece of that rope.
So this? What? Okay.
You said if I told you that
Well, we haven't done them any harm yet, have we?
How the devil is it that you crooks always manage to hit on the same places for your scoundrelly business? Why, Well, I certainly thought you'd show me something new.
Seen it before, have you?
Well, I should think so. The grand Thalassic room of the London Aquarium. I nabbed a friend of yours in this place while he was trying to steal a fish of particular distinction. Ned Colvin, the cracksman.
Colvin? I never heard of him before.
No? Well, you certainly never heard of them after. A brace of counterfeiters used this regal room in the spring of 19. One of them hid in that cupboard. We pulled them out by the heels.
Ah, did you? And the other?
The other, he was more fortunate.
Ah, he got away, I suppose.
Yes, he got away. Times have changed since then. So they have, Miss Larry, so they have. Then it was only cracksmen, counterfeiters, and petty swindlers of various kinds. Now,
Well, what now?
well, between you and me, Larrabee, we've had some not altogether agreeable rumours. Rumours of some pretty shady work from here. A murder or two of a very peculiar kind. And I've always had a suspicion. My surmise was correct. It is.
It is what?
Wet.
What does that signify to us?
Nothing to us, Mr. Larrabee. Nothing to us. But it might signify a good deal to some poor devil who's been caught in this trap.
Well, if it's nothing to us, I suppose we leave it and get to business. My time is limited.
Quite so, of course. I should have realised that reflections could not possibly appeal to you. But it so happens I take a deep interest in anything that pertains to what are known as the criminal classes. And this same interest makes me rather curious to know how you happen to select a singularly gruesome place for an ordinary business transaction.
I selected this place, Mr. Holmes, because I thought you might not be disposed to take such liberties here as you practiced in my own house last night.
Quite so, quite so. But why not?
Well, you might not feel quite so much at home here.
Oh. You've made a singular miscalculation. I feel perfectly at home, Mr. Larrabee. Perfectly.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it. Here's the little packet, which is the object of this meeting. I haven't opened it yet, but Miss Faulkner tells me everything is there.
Then there is no need of opening it, Mr. Larrabee.
Oh well, I want to see you satisfied.
That is precisely the condition in which you now behold me. Miss Faulkner is a truthful young lady. Their word is sufficient.
Very well. Now what shall we say, Mr. Holmes? Of course we want a pretty large price for this. Miss Faulkner is giving up everything. She would not be satisfied unless the result justified it.
Suppose, Mr. Larrabee, that as Miss Faulkner knows nothing whatever about this affair, we omit their name from discussion.
Who told you they don't know?
You did. Every look, tone, gesture, everything you have said and done since I have been in this room has informed me that she has never consented to this transaction. It is a little speculation of your own.
I suppose you think you can read me like a book?
No, like a primer.
Well, let that pass. How much do you give?
£1,000.
I can take it.
What do you ask?
5,000.
I couldn't give it.
Very well. We've had all this trouble for nothing.
Oh, don't say that, Mr. Larrabee. To me, the occasion has been doubly interesting. I have not only had the pleasure of meeting you again, but I have also availed myself the opportunity of making observations regarding this place which may not come amiss.
Why, I've been offered 4,000 for this little.
Why didn't you take it?
Because I intend to get more.
That's too bad.
If they offered 4,000, I'll give 5.
They won't give anything.
Why not?
They've turned the case over to me.
Will you give 3,000?
Mr. Larrabee, strange as it may appear, My time is limited as well as yours. I have brought with me the sum of £1,000, which is all that I wish to pay. If it is your desire to sell at this figure, kindly appraise me of the fact at once. If not, permit me to wish you a very good evening.
Go on. You can have them. It's too small a matter to haggle over. I thought you said you had brought just 1,000.
I did. This is it.
You brought a trifle more, I see.
Quite so. I didn't say I had brought any more.
You can do your little tricks when it comes to it, can't you?
It depends on who I'm dealing with. Now, I've got you right where I want you, Miss Jim Larrabee. You've been so cunning and so cautious and so wise. We couldn't find a thing to hold you for. But this little slip will get you in for robbery.
Oh, you have me in, will you? What are your views about being able to get away from here yourself?
I do not anticipate any particular difficulty.
Perhaps you'll change your mind about that.
Whether I change my mind or not, I certainly shall leave this place and your arrest will shortly follow.
My arrest? Robbery, huh? Why, even if you got away from here, you haven't got a witness. Not a witness to your name.
I'm not so sure of that, Mr. Larrabee. What's behind that door?
Come away from that door.
Stand back. You contemptible scoundrel. What does this mean?
I'll show you what it means. Curse quick.
I'm afraid you're badly hurt, Miss Faulkner.
Mr. Holmes, no!
Ah, Craig. Delighted to see you. And you too, John. I infer from your presence here at this particular juncture that I'm not dealing with Mr. Larrabee alone.
Your appearance is quite correct, Mr. Holmes.
It is not difficult to imagine who is at the bottom of such a conspiracy as this. I hope you're beginning to feel a little more yourself, Miss Faulkner, because we shall leave here very soon.
Oh yes, do let us go, Mr. Holmes.
You'll have to wait a bit, Mr. Holmes. We have a little matter of business we'd like to talk over.
All right, Reagan. I'll see you tomorrow morning in your cell at Bow Street.
Very sorry, sir. I can't wait until morning. It's got to be settled tonight.
All right, Reagan. We'll settle it tonight.
It's so very important, Mr. Holmes. So very important indeed that you'll have to tend to it now. Have you got the revolver?
Sir.
Ah, Armitage. It is a pleasure indeed. It needed only your blithe personality to make the party complete. Glad to see you again. How is young Eden Stoner?
Good.
I hope they are doing well.
Once we are done here, I'll pass on your best wishes.
That's very kind of him, I'm sure. Holmes, only a brief description of one or two of you gentlemen for the police. We know the rest.
And when will you give it Mr. Office?
In 9.5 minutes, Armitage.
Oh, you expect to leave here in 9 minutes, huh?
No, in 1. It will take 8 minutes to find a policeman. This is a dangerous neighborhood.
Well, when you're ready to start, do let us know.
I'm ready.
Wait a minute. You better listen to me, Mr. Holmes. We are going to get you.
Well, by Jove, I don't think you will. That's my idea, you know.
And you'll save yourself a deal of trouble if you submit quiet and easy, like. Because if you don't like, if you don't, you might get knocked about a bit.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, come away from him. Come over here if you don't want to get hurt.
My child, if you don't want to get hurt, don't leave me.
Aren't you coming? No.
You better look out, miss. You might get killed.
Then you could kill me too.
No. You will not say it in another time or place.
I would say that anywhere, always.
I never knew you were the sun.
So you'll have it out with us, eh?
Do you imagine for one moment, Craig, that I won't have it out with you?
Well then, I'll have to give you one, same as I did your right-hand man this afternoon.
Ah. You heard them say that? Same as he did my right-hand man this afternoon.
Yes.
Don't forget that face. In 3 days, I shall ask you to identify it in the prisoner's dock.
You are not going out as easy as you expect.
There are so many ways, Mr. Armitage. I hardly know which to choose.
Well, let's narrow the choices.
Blaha, most hellbird of all shark species, and my favorite. For you see, this is my plan all along. Among my many fascinations and hobbies, I would have thought my weekly trips to the London Aquarium would have made more of an impression upon the spellmaster behind all this. For you see, I'm most familiar with these Blaha, and they are most familiar with me.
John is eaten alive by sharks. He's on stage right now. Let's escape.
They're gone.
But one day you are living your life, the next day you are eaten by a shark. Oh, London is wrong.
When you think.
My office! What's happened to my office? Jesus. Workman.
Gentlemen,
Very well, sir. You are this gentleman, sir?
yes.
Pray be seated.
I don't mind if I do.
What seems to be the trouble?
A most dreadful sore throat.
Sore throat, eh?
Well, I should think it is. It's the most harrowing thing I've ever had. It pains me as much to swallow that
That's to swallow, you say.
It does indeed. It makes my lifestyle very difficult.
I understand.
Just this way, a moment, please.
Now, mouth open. As wide as possible, please.
That's it.
Say Where do you feel this pain?
I'm out there, Doctor.
Inside about
There. I'll have a look to see what I have.
It's not you, Doctor.
Foreman, show this man the shortest way to the street door and close the door after him.
This way, sir, if you please.
Doctor, you don't understand.
I quite understand quite enough. Good evening.
I could see
and stuffer.
Yes, sir. Good thing, sir. It isn't a patient at all.
Well, what is it?
A lady, sir? And she wants to see you most particular, sir.
What does she want to see me about?
She didn't say, sir. Only she said it was of the utmost importance to, if you could see her.
Is she in the hall there?
Yes, sir.
Very well.
Doctor, it's awfully good for you to see me. I know what a busy man you must be, but I'm in so much trouble. Oh, it's really too dreadful. You'll excuse my troubling you in this way, won't you?
Don't speak of it, madam. What can I help you with?
I have the most dreadful personal problem with my maid. For you see, she's been in the family since I was 16 years old, and now is threatening to share her indiscretion with my husband unless I pay her a considerable sum. Now, what would you do to advise me?
I'd go to Mr. Holmes at once.
But I've been and he wasn't there. But don't you expect them sometime this evening?
No. There's no possibility of their coming, as far as I know. I couldn't get them to come here, madam, and I beg you to excuse me. I'm going out myself. On urgent business.
Oh, certainly. Don't let me detain you. And you think I had better call at their house again?
What will be the wisest thing to do?
Oh, thank you so much. You don't know how much you've encouraged me.
This way, sir. Be careful of the stairs, sir.
No, I'll sit here.
No, this is the chair, sir.
Don't I know where I want to sit?
Sherlock, this is quite unexpected. You're all soaked. All the way through. I haven't seen you this wet since.
I would apologize for the mess, but you see I'm here for your sake. I'm afraid the plot moves against you as we speak. On my way home, I had to take a detour through Southwark's most spectacular sight, which left me delayed.
I don't understand.
I shall explain all, my dear young Watson, for tonight has been the confluence of many years of activities. My own involvement in the narrative began many years ago when I was in a public house in Clapham Common. Don't let them get to that window.
Perhaps, my dear Holmes, you should address the events that are in action tonight first. I have to say that your arrival is only one in a string of distinct, peculiar appointments tonight.
Quite right, my Watson. Now, Miss Larrabee, will you explain the events that are to unfold, or shall I? I cannot go home, for Moriarty obviously had my place watched by his gentle people, a plan that even the most elementary doctors would have foreseen. However, as my old friend Bryn Dunn would say, in Wales one does not catch an escaped sheep by foreclosing the farm. For you see, even searching the vast hills would bear no fruit. No, one must provide motivation. Incentive, if you like. One.
Look out, Holmes! She can get that way out!
Miss Larrabee has no intention of escaping, my young petite Watson. She is really playing her role. Foreman, will you please see to the door? We are expecting visitors.
Yes, sir.
Why should I leave when there are a great many things yet to happen, Dr. Watson?
Mr. Holmes!
Fine. We have been expecting you. I've just been explaining your plan.
Mr. Holmes, please do not think of me as rude, but if you insist on a full explanation of every action in your life, may I provide you such a service? For you see, I have an appointment at 10 p.m. to keep.
Perish the thought, Moriarty. Please, dictate to me what I've already deduced.
May I profess my deepest apologies to your involvement of our affairs. Dr. Indeed, I have been responsible for fulfilling your latest set of appointments with perhaps less than an authentic character tonight. And was it not for the actions of the expeditious foreman, we may have been fully introduced under different circumstances. Basic, if you will.
We must say, Mr. Moriarty is not a plain-spoken man. He thinks through all his plans and provides contingencies for all his
And
plans.
may I congratulate you, Mr. Holmes, for exceeding even my evaluation of your skills swimming through the shark tank. May that be the most brazen escape I've seen for many seasons.
They took a lot of Blaha treats.
It was of no consequence, however, for one domino falls, we find a second one in the bush.
As Jim was saying, you need improved your heroics as the next chapter in your plan moves forward. Do you know how to find a mouse? You can seal up its mouse hole. You can set up traps for where it might wander into, but all of these trials and attempts will fail in vain. To really capture the mouse, you must place its favorite cheese in jeopardy. And your favorite cheese, Sherlock Holmes, is Dr. John Watson. I thought it was Wensleydale. It's true!
I confess to as much and more, John. Without you in health and happiness, I would not know the light from the dark.
I provide you with the following possible courses of action, Mr. Holmes. 1. You come with us and Dr. Watson shall remain in good fortunes. One of you have my word. Okay. 2. You resisted in any way, and I shall make it my personal duty to ensue that the young doctor's life shall be of turmoil and disappointment. We outnumber you, Mr. Holmes. I give you 15 seconds to make your decision.
I should face the same future as you, Sherlock. I refuse to let you surrender yourself for my sake.
My dear John, I accept your offer. I've come to a conclusion.
And what is your answer?
Neither. Alice, now!
I have two guns. The first to move is the first to feel a sharp shooting pain in what used to be their goal.
And so, what is your answer?
You cannot possibly shoot all of us.
Indeed, Armitage, I see that age has not diminished your talents. But I can state with the certainty that one only feels at certain points in their lives that Mr. Moriarty, and whoever moves first, will become quickly immobilized. That the bullets shall disturb the peace of our imperturbable neighbours, and that the police shall arrive in 4 minutes. Since this is quite a safe neighbourhood, 2 or more of you, including Bob here, shall spend their immediate futures in the hospital. After which, I can assure you that assault will be added to an already distended list of offences collected by Scotland Yard. Do you wish to volunteer?
No. Give it up, guys. We will fight another day.
Excellent. Foreman, will you please show these men, please see these men be located somewhere else until the straw arrives. The laundry room shall be an excellent contender as a location.
Sure, sir.
Moriarty, that's out. Go.
Do you imagine, Sherlock Holmes, that this is the end?
I venture to dream that it might be.
Are you quite sure that the police will be able to hold me?
I'm quite sure of nothing.
Oh. I have heard that you're planning to take a little trip. You and your boyfriend here. Friend. A little trip on the continent.
And if I do,
I shall meet you there.
that's all, Foreman.
These secret tunnels you have built out of my house have proven their worth, and then some, Sherlock. But in light of recent revelations, I should choose confidence as my character growth and ask, will it continue to be necessary to slip in and out of my house in the dead of night, in secret?
No, John, I suppose it mustn't. If you permit me one final disruption, I've one further matter to attend to.
These tunnels are tight.
I find limbering up helps to navigate the bends.
It's true. Is it true? I heard everything. Is it true that you like musical food?
I'm afraid, my dear, it is, but
You must tell me everything. I saved your life now. You owe me that much. We have a bond now, forged in battle, one that shall continue on.
there shall be a time for that in the future. However, I have urgent matters to attend to now.
Good luck, Mr. Holmes.
What's next, Sherlock?
I thought we'd check out that fire at Primrose Hill. The chippy one. Something is fishy.
No, I mean, what's next for us?
Well, I thought, I hope we can see how things go. Try some new things. Revisit some old things, but most importantly, do things together.
I like that.
On that subject, I never learned to waltz.
Why? I had the most brilliant teacher during my Eton years. In long black hair, blue eyes, and fast jets.
You can stop there, John.